Hey everyone, welcome back to the weekly lives. Hope everybody's having a great Monday and I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Did you guys eat good food? I did. Got to spend time with family and whatnot. But yeah, we're back with our weekly live streams where we chat and give opinions about recent game news. And yeah, if you like more opinions, I do more opinions on this type of setting versus my regular videos. So if you like that, make sure to stick around because we do that a lot here. What games are you guys playing this week? I've been playing a lot of Stardew Valley. I've been like hooked on that game. I don't know why. I think it's just easy to play the game while you're like also doing something else. So, like watching TV or like watching movies and stuff like that. But yeah, let's get into the news. The first thing that we have today is Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, this game has been having a good amount of controversy. Um, there's a lot of like stuff going around about the main character. There's two main characters, and it's a lot of controversy. I don't want to talk about it too much in this video, but they just don't like the way they look, basically, and stuff like that, calling it too woke. But today we're actually going to go over the new gameplay release. They released some stealth specifically gameplay. So first we're gonna watch it and then we're going to break it down.
I saw you coming.
Our forces will join up there.
That's enough.
Okay. Oh, get off of that. Yeah, so that is the new gameplay. I'm curious what you guys think about that because it's definitely some new. That's why I say like I really like rarely pre-order games, unless I know for sure that like it's going to be like a really good game and like a game that has like been proven before. For instance, God of War. Honestly, I don't even think I pre-ordered God of War. I rarely pre-order games, but I know one game that I will be pre-ordering is GTA 6 because I want the disc for that. But I wouldn't pre-order this game. I mean, if you want to, I'm sure there'll be like some extra benefits. But wait till the reviews come out. But it's still like interesting to see, what they have in store. But yeah, I guess it's coming out February 14th, 2025. It did get pushed back. It was supposed to come out this year, but it didn't. Um, but this is basically like everything that we saw in the video. So the first thing would be observation. Both Naoi and Yasuke have access to the new observation mechanics, which delivers fast and easy ways to toggle additional information on screen. Observe allows you to identify targets, tag and monitor enemies, and highlight lootable stashes, collectibles, and quest objectives while on a cinch point. It also allows for close examination of nearby locations. The observe mechanic is at the core of Assassin's Creed Shadows experiment, Simon says. When in doubt, take a pause, observe the world around you, and only then you should be able to decide what your next move should be. And I know that's a really big aspect in this game, because one thing that I found out is they actually got rid of the, hawk that you could like fly around and observe who's in the area and stuff like that, because they want people to be more in tune with the gameplay. They want it to be more like moment to moment. They don't really want you to plan too much ahead anymore. Like, they don't want you to plan or they don't want you to take like 15 minutes to plan and then do all this stuff. They want it to be more moment to moment. So yeah, this is what they were talking about in this, last little observe snippet. So also too, another thing, if you guys see this like little skull right here, I guess that means that like the enemy is too difficult for you to tackle. So, I mean, it's still doable, but I guess it's just, not wise to do unless you have like a lot of like weapons or stuff. And then the number is like when they're more comparable to you. So you can like tackle or assassinate these kind of enemies, and the other ones with the skull aren't as easy to do. But you can still tag them. I just don't think you can use the hawk anymore. And you can see as well. Well, actually, I think we're going to get to that a little bit, so I'm going to wait for that. Yeah, so Eagle Vision, I think this is what I was talking about. Naoe has access to the classic Assassin's Creed Eagle Vision. So I guess they do. Which allows her to highlight the positions of hidden behind walls and other objectives and isolate any relevant sounds they make. Eagle Vision is a more dedicated to stealth mechanic, encouraging Naoe to slow down and take a moment to better visualize her enemy and relevant gameplay objects, including hiding objects. Both Observe and Eagle Vision work independently, revealing different sets of information, but Naoe can combine both concurrently to reveal, observe, and tag enemies through walls. A very useful habit to have if you don't want to blunder into a room full of samurai waiting for you. So is this the same thing? Wait, let's see. No, it's not. Yeah. Yeah, they don't have the eagle anymore. There's just, I guess it's just called Eagle Vision. Yeah. So I guess it's just like a sense. I mean, they have that in most games where you can like sense who's around you. I think it's pretty cool. I get that in-game building sense, but I like being able to see everyone ahead. Yeah. Yeah, and that was like a pretty specific like Assassin's Creed thing, so I'm surprised they're getting rid of it, but I know they're like making a lot of changes to the game. So I don't know, maybe they're just trying to see what sticks, but hopefully this isn't like one of the mechanics that they like get rid of and like everybody's mad about it. We'll see. Also, another thing that I heard was that like you could see these like different colors, and I guess that just means they're like different tiers. So like some of them will be just like random pedestrians. Some of them will be higher level. So yeah, because you don't want to just kill like random pedestrians and stuff like that and just like rush in. So I guess that's one of the reasons why they're like dividing it. Shinobi movements? Hiding in the shadows. For the first time in Assassin's Creed series, hiding in the shadows will make you visible to enemies. During the nighttime, any pocket of shadows becomes a dynamic hiding spot in which you can progress without being seen. This applies to both interiors and exteriors. The ability to use shadows in this way invites you to carefully study your environment for hiding opportunities and routes, or create them yourself by destroying lanterns, with the shuriken. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Naoi is perfectly capable of Shinobi in broad daylight. Simon says Simon. Why did I say Simon says? Sorry. But the cover of the darkness gives her a remarkable edge over her enemies, especially on higher difficulty settings. That's pretty cool. I feel like they did that a lot in like older games. I feel like I haven't seen that as much in newer games. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I haven't seen it a lot. Staying low. While Naoi is fast, sprinting while you're attempting to be stealthy in highly populated environment can be risky. The sound of footsteps will alert guards, who will spot you almost instantaneously. In general, standing up increases your visibility. That's kind of obvious. So this is where crouching comes into play. Naoi can move quickly or quite slowly while crouched, while the sound of her footsteps is considerably reduced, and that's kind of just like in most games. Crouching is particularly effective indoors, minimizing the sound of Nightingale floors, specifically designed floors that creak whenever someone steps on them, for example, or reducing the chance of bumping into noisy objectives. So I did see something about this too. I'm pretty sure they have like stuff around like your feet that indicates noise. Yeah.
Our forces will join up there.
So that's an interesting little mechanic.
That's enough.
It's like little like waves that come out.
Our forces will join up there.
That's enough.
So that's pretty cool. I don't remember seeing that in an Assassin's Creed game. This is going to be so fun in 2025. Yeah, I'm actually kind of interested in this Assassin's Creed. I haven't been too interested in recent Assassin's Creeds. Like, this is probably a hot take, but I didn't really like Valhalla. Mirage was like okay. This one is kind of the first one that's been piquing my interest a little bit, so I'm excited to talk about it and, you know, see where it's going. It's probably for the best they did get pushed because they don't want to release like something that's broken. We've been having so many broken games. Yeah, so going prone. Naoi and Yasuke are the first protagonists able to go prone in the series. Going prone reduces your visibility to enemies even further, whether on ground, on rooftops, or underwater. That's cool. For Naoi, going prone comes with its own set of movements. By pressing the dodge button when in prone, you can roll to the side, front, or back, a useful maneuver to quickly employ when a guard approaches. Keep an eye under buildings too. You might just find an opening you can crawl under. I don't know if we've seen that in Assassin's Creed games, but I know that was definitely in Ghost of Tsushima. They had that. Maybe it's like a Japanese thing. I'm not sure because I think both of these games are Japanese. Okay, that was kind of clean. That part was clean. Just to roll out the bushes and then get them. But then I know I used to do a lot too. Like if I was like hiding in the bushes, I would just like whistle or like throw something and it would just get them over there and I'd get them. But that's pretty cool too, especially if there's not a lot of people around. Naoi doesn't have to rely on her stealthy moves alone. She has 4 primary tools at her disposal to help ensure a quick kill or getaway. Okay. So, Smoke Bomb, a classic assassin tool that creates a cloud of smoke, allowing you to escape or assassinate low-rank enemies without being seen. And I'm pretty sure we saw that. Yeah, we're going to see that. Shinobi Bells, and again, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. The perfect tool to distract enemies. By throwing a bell, you can lure a guard away from their post or create an opportunity to sneak past them. Kunai are extremely sharp throwing knives that deal a lot of damage and can result in one-shot kills when aimed with precision. Kunai are always fun in games. And Shuriken are sharp, star-shaped throwing weapons that momentarily stunts enemies and are even more useful when thrown into the environment to cause distractions. So yeah, we did see some of that in this, I remember. So I'm a little curious. Like, okay, so she threw the thing, right? I wonder if it, like, why does it just stun this guy? That's what I'm curious about. Because the other two run away, so, like, it only stuns this guy. And then she does a flip out the air. So I wonder if it has, like, some sort of, like, tier level, like, area of effect or something. I mean, we don't know yet, but, I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I think you would have to play your cards right, definitely, because if it only stuns, like, one person, you'll have to be careful. And the smoke doesn't last that long, either. New ways to hide and kill. Naoe is our smallest assassin to date. That's interesting. And she uses that to her advantage. She can squeeze through tiny wall cracks, and she can hide inside small storage spaces and boxes in order to get the drop on her enemies. That's cool. Double assassinations. We know that players are always looking for efficiency in their stealth runs, and this is why we are bringing back double assassinations in Assassin's Creed Shadows by equipping the Tanto as one of your main weapons and unlocking the dedicated skill. You can eliminate 2 enemies standing next to each other at once with your hidden blade, whether on the ground or from the air. Grabbing enemies. While undetected, you can briefly grab and drag enemies in any direction to silently assassinate or take them down non-lethally. This grab mechanic removes some of the automation we've had in the series before. In Shadows, if you want to assassinate someone from a stealth or from a stalking bush, you have to manually grab them, pull them in, and only then you can dispatch them, says Simon. So I thought this was pretty cool too. Like, that's crazy. You're like grabbing him by the neck. Yeah, that's brutal. That's brutal. It reminds me of, like, you guys ever seen that thing where they like grab someone by the ear and they like pull them? That kind of is what it reminds me of. That's why it's kind of funny. And this is not all. While we cannot cover everything in this article, know that there will be more stealth options. Okay, sure. And they have a bunch of other stuff too. Enemy tactics. While you have plenty of ways to hide and eliminate your targets, enemies will respond in ways that will make your life more difficult when you make mistakes. Servants, for example, are a new type of non-lethal enemy that will alert guards upon seeing you. That's something, because usually we just get noticed by like other guards. While they can't fight, their ability to call for reinforcements and raise alarms makes them just as threatening as enemies who can. Servants have their own routes, basically, and it's important to keep tabs on them while using eagle vision, and they will stand out appearing in orange. So that's kind of what I said before with the different tiers. So you have to be aware of them, but like you can't like just go in and like assassinate them, basically. While infiltrating heavy guarded positions such as castles and fortresses, different districts each exist as their own individual arenas. This means that should you get caught in one pocket, you can still recover, re-engage, and keep your stealth run going without having an entire location bearing you down. Suspicion and investigation. If you get detected and you're able to disappear again, enemies will search for you in pairs. One watcher and one seeker. That's interesting. And will remain more suspicious going forward. That means that tactics such as whistling to lure them and will only increase their suspicion and thus their ability to spot you. This can impact your ability to assassinate from a hiding spot, as these suspicious guards will be more likely to get in a way if you're not cautious enough. This reminds me of Spider-Man, because specifically Spider-Man 2, because I remember they would be in like groups, and then you have to like pretty much like shoot your webs to like distract them. So I mean, you kind of had to do that anyways in Assassin's Creed. Maybe not exactly this, but in a way, a lot of the times like you would have to assassinate them or like distract them and then like assassinate another one. Certain enemy archetypes will present unique challenges to your arsenal. For example, samurai cannot be assassinated when you are caught in a smoke bomb. Okay. As seen in our clip above, instead they will quickly evade the smoke area. This contrasts with Ashigaru soldiers, or the servants, who can be assassinated in the smoke. Okay, so that was the difference that I was talking about. I was wondering, like, why is some running away and then some not? Samurai are also more prone to deny assassinations, and they can even slice bushes when they are searching for you, which removes options to hide. Okay, so this was another thing that like was really interesting to me. This assassination denied, because I don't think we've ever seen anything like this in Assassin's Creed games. Those Shadows progression system, or through Shadows progression system, sorry, it's important you focus on developing your stealth skills and abilities. Enemies will have levels based on their archetypes and regions, so if you neglect Assassin's Hidden Blade upgrades, you might find that stronger enemies can completely deny your assassination attempts. When approaching a target, a white assassination prompt indicates an instant kill. Yellow means you'll deal some damage, and red signals that the enemy will completely deny your attempt when it comes to assassination. Progress and context work in hand, says Simon. I almost said Simon Says again. Come on. Invest in perks that increase your assassination damage and test things around you. A strong enemy may survive in frontal assassination, but may die from a sneaky air assassination. So this is the little clip. So yellow's some damage.
I saw you coming.
That's crazy. Just get like bodied.
I saw you coming.
So it's like, what do you do after that? Like, all you can do is run away. Like, I'd be embarrassed. Stealth and Yasuke. While Yasuke is a very much built for direct close counters combat, he can still be stealthy when equipped with his bow. Using this ranged weapon, you can engage enemies from a distance without ever needing to draw your katana. Oh boy. I wonder what those like waves indicate. It's just like when you get a headshot or something. Or maybe when it's like all the way pulled back. But can we also take a look at like these graphics? I think they look way better from when it was first announced, like they first released the gameplay of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Like, look at how clear that looks. That looks really good. Even just like his hair and his armor, it looks so much better than when we saw it last time. They're getting better with the little details, which is really good. If players are careful and deliberate, Yasuke can also slip behind foes and deliver a devastating assassination with his melee weapons, blending stealth with more direct combat approach. While we'll have more on Yasuke skills in our next combat deep dive. And yeah, okay, so basically they're just saying that like there's gonna be more coming in the future, but I'm really curious like what you guys think about this new, you know, Assassin's Creed gameplay update. I think it's really cool. I think it, like I said earlier, like it draws my attention. And again, like a lot of people are mad at this game, but I think like make your own decisions, you know? Like don't let other people decide what you're gonna play. That's weird, you know? Like I think it looks good. So unless I see something that's just throws me off completely, I think I'm going to be buying this game, and I'll probably be talking about it more as more details about the game come out and stuff like that. I'll, of course, do it before you buy because that's like a staple on my channel. So I'll definitely be talking more about it. But yeah, what do you guys think? But on to our next little segment. We have The Witcher 4 is now in full production. So we'll watch a little bit about it from IGN, and then again, we'll talk about it.
The Witcher 4 has entered full-scale production, developer CD Projekt has announced. As part of its latest financial results, the Polish company said that Project Polaris, the first installment in the new Witcher trilogy, has now progressed from pre-production to full-scale production. Joint CEO Michael Nowakowski said, "I'm proud to confirm that several weeks ago the Polaris team wrapped up pre-production and moved on to full-scale production, the most intensive phase of development. We are very pleased with our progress on this project, and I wish to thank the team for its dedication." CD Projekt currently has 400 developers working on Polaris, the majority of its 650-person total development staff. As for the rest of the staff, 64 are working on Orion, the sequel to Cyberpunk, 42 on Sirius, the Witcher game developed by the Molasses Flood, and 18 on Hadar, CD Projekt's brand new IP. That is some transparency right there. Polaris was announced back in October 2022. This August, Geralt of Rivia voice actor Doug Cockle revealed the White Wolf will appear in Polaris, but not as the main character. CD Projekt has long made clear that Geralt's saga had come to an end, meaning a new protagonist was fully expected for Polaris, but this is the first confirmation that he'd be in the next game at all. Only a single teaser image, seen here, has otherwise been revealed for Polaris, but it was enough to suggest Ciri will be the protagonist this time around. What's considered the true ending of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, thanks to its story being continued in comics considered canon to CD Projekt's universe, sees her become a Witcher herself. The teaser image also showed a medallion of a lynx, and while this is a brand new Witcher school not mentioned previously in the books, games, or comics, Ciri wore a School of the Cat medallion in the books, and its philosophy matches her nimble fighting style. As soon as we learn more about The Witcher 4, we'll share it with you here.
So that's pretty cool. Have any of you guys gotten into The Witcher? I kind of was like, kind of into it. Like, I played it a little bit. I wouldn't say it was like my favorite game, but I did play it a little bit. But yeah, so they have like some workers pretty much on Cyberpunk, the new game that's coming out, but who knows when that game is going to be coming out, because like I think it took like so long for the first one to even come out, and then they just released that DLC, what was it called, like Phantom Liberty or something. So yeah, the next Cyberpunk I'm pretty sure is in pre-production, and basically if you don't know what pre-production versus post-production, or pre-production versus like production is basically just like pre-production is planning. So they're coming up with a bunch of like characters, prototypes, and like blueprints and stuff like that. And then in full production, they pretty much make all of that stuff come to life. So usually pre-production is a little longer than production itself, because they already have everything that they're going to do like down packed. So after that, it's just about making it and getting it approved. New video games are coming in 2025. PS5, Xbox Series S. Yeah, there's a lot of really big games coming next year, so I'm really excited to talk about it with everyone and play the games. But the hype for, The Witcher, it's going to be like really huge, because I guess they like abandoned like the system that they usually were doing for like years. So it's going to be better like as far as graphics and stuff like that. They have moved away from its own bespoke and internal bred engine, which is usually known by the Unreal Engine. So I don't know. I don't think it was that it was bad, but I guess like there's a different engine that allows them to work on like multiple games at once. And I guess a lot of developers are like getting like sick of the Unreal engines. But I don't know. It's kind of funny too, because a lot of like gaming development students, they usually only like learn like how to make games through Unreal Engine, and that's kind of something I learned to use as well during my time in game design school. A lot of people are trained in that. So, but and also too, another really good thing. So we all know that like Cyberpunk came out and it was broken as ever, So with this new software, they're also going to be conducting like regular reviews to make sure that the technology is like good enough to keep moving forward. So hopefully that means that there's going to be less glitching, Because who likes broken games? I feel like I always say that, but like, why are we getting so many broken games? Games are like $70. Is no reason it should be broken. I mean, if anything, I think a lot of companies are just like rushing these games to come out. But it seems like they're learning from Cyberpunk, which is really good, instead of like putting out a game and worrying about glitches later. Like, I'm sure they lost out on so much money because the game came out broken. But I guess they're being like, really critical of their work and making sure that they're doing everything the right way. And a lot of companies don't do that. They kind of just keep pushing until later it goes out and is broken or people don't like it. And a good example of that is Concord. Like, Concord came out and it wasn't broken, but like just people didn't like it. So a lot of people, they don't take the time to like stop and just say, okay, well, maybe this isn't a good game, and they would rather just push it out because they invested so much money in it instead of trying to like make tweaks that would make people like the game, But yeah, I'm not sure. Hopefully my audio is better. I think I was just playing with this. I think it was muffling it. But yeah, hopefully we'll see it coming out soon. Could that be why GTA 5 is delayed 10 plus years? Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of stuff that's going on with GTA. As long as these companies have deadlines and don't listen to their teams, game will continue to be really. Yeah, I think that's a problem too with like bosses in general and managers. Sometimes they don't want to listen to what other people have to say. They'd rather just, stick to whatever they have to do and keep pushing, and then it blows up in their face. So, yeah. And also too, I guess they want to do like some, more proper advertising. So a lot of people suspect that maybe they'll release a little something on the Game Awards. I don't really think they would do it in this Game Awards because it like just started getting into production. So I think the game is somewhat far away. And the last Witcher came out in 2015. So that's why I find it funny that so many people worry about like GTA, but there's so many other games that haven't came out in a long time that a lot of people aren't worried about, like The Sims. And I'm actually gonna do another Sims video coming up, but that game hasn't released a new one in like a long time, and a lot of people aren't really worried about it. So I don't know. What do you guys think this new game will be about, though? I think a lot of people think it might be a spin-off or like something like that. I don't know, but yeah, they're definitely learning from Cyberpunk, because I guess Cyberpunk just hit 30 million copies sold, which is crazy, right? But yeah, GTA been delayed so long because what they wanted for it, they didn't have the technology to do what they wanted. So yeah, now they have lab. Yeah, I mean, could be. I think there's a lot of stuff. I think also Rockstar, they are really picky when it comes to like what they put out. I mean, and that's just like with GTA 5, they had so many details in that game, and I guess it just takes long. The same with Red Dead Redemption 2. So yeah. But yeah, on to my next story. The PlayStation Games of the Month. I kind of wanted to talk about this a little bit just because I really like these games. So the first one, It Takes Two. It's a really great game. Highly, highly, highly recommend. I was kind of mad because it was on PlayStation Plus for free for the longest time. And then and then it got taken off. And they do that with a lot of games. It kind of makes me mad. But it's basically a co-op game, and you basically, rely on the other person to help you out throughout the game. Like, you can't play it by yourself. It's definitely like a two-person game. So if you ever want to play, like a couch co-op, which we don't have a lot of those nowadays at all, highly recommend It Takes Two. It has a great story. I'm pretty sure it's just about like a husband and a wife who's been fighting a lot, and this like, I guess, love guru, you could say, puts them in this like little simulation that helps them get back together and work it out. But it's really fun, the little challenges, and then they have like mini games in there and stuff. Really cool game to play. Aliens is, I'm pretty sure it's a horror game. Aliens Dark Descent. Pretty sure that's a horror game. If you know in the chat, let me know. And then Temtem. I've never heard of this game, but I'm pretty sure it's just like one of those small like indie games. But I just wanted to mention it strictly for It Takes Two because I really like that game. But sometimes the PlayStation games of the month can be not that great, but when they are great, I like to shout them out. But yeah, on to our next little small thing. Sony confirms the PlayStation 2 has sold over 160 million copies worldwide. And if you guys don't know, the PS2 is one of my favorite gaming consoles. So it'd be the PS2 and the PS4. Not really the PS5. I'm not a fan of every game that's been on there. But it's crazy that this is still like one of the top gaming consoles, and it's been years and years later. In honor of the PlayStation's 30th anniversary, Sony has launched a webpage revealing some interesting facts in its history, including the long speculated lifetime sales of PlayStation 2. The website confirms that PlayStation 2 has sold over 160 million copies worldwide since its launch in 2000, making it the highest selling console of all time. It's followed by two Nintendo consoles, the DS at 154.02 million units sold, and the Nintendo Switch at 146 million consoles sold. But yeah, 160 million is a crazy number. To be clear, we already knew the PS2 sat on the throne at the highest selling console, but it's Sony's first official confirmation of that 160 million. Previously, IGN crushed its own numbers, estimating the PS2's lifetime sales likely came around 159 million. That's based on Sony's last official reporting of its numbers, 150 million in 2011, plus further analysis from Nico Partners Daniel Ahmed. Really, the only console that could topple the PS2 in the near future is the Nintendo Switch, as other current gen consoles like the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S still lag far behind. However, Switch sales have taken a dive recently as the world eagerly awaits the Switch successor, so the Nintendo Switch 2. That should be coming out next year, I think. If not next year, like the year after. It's coming out really soon. Sony's new website is packed with little interesting tidbits, not just on the PS2, but all of Sony's consoles, from the original PlayStation all the way up to the PSVR 2. Sony has been making headlines for plans for its future as well, with recent Bloomberg report revealing that it's planning to return to the handheld console market. Yeah, that's another thing that's really big in the news that I'm probably going to cover because I think that's really big. We were literally just talking about that like coming up. But because they had such a good like handheld device, and then they just gave up on it. So it's so bad. I'm trying to see if we can find that article about that they were talking about. Let me see. Sony PS2. Yeah, it's not coming up. I don't know if it was just like something that they looked at. But I do want to share this little chart. So this is basically how the consoles like sold, like ranked. So PS2 is a lot. And considering that Nintendo Switch is about to go out of business, or not out of business, but about to like get a new console, I don't think that like this is gonna like pass PS2. And then the PS4 right after that, which is crazy. And then I guess this is just the PlayStation 1. The Wii. I'm surprised the Wii isn't higher because honestly, they were pretty revolutionary when they first came out, in my opinion. I'm surprised that wouldn't be just like even one higher. The PS3, I'm surprised at that too because I heard a lot of people didn't like the PS3. But let me know how you guys felt about it. But then Xbox 360, okay, and then PS5. And this was as of November 8th. So that one number, 160 million, must have like just came in. But yeah, it's a crazy statistic. Like in 2000, but I don't know. Like the PS2 had like so many great games. Like it's crazy. Oh, here is yeah, let me see. So here is, must have been that website that they were talking about. 30 years of play. Join us for the journey of PlayStation history and consoles and games that made us. What is this, like a video or what? Oh, 2000. So the Japanese release was March 4th, 2000, North American release October 26, 2000, and the European release November 24th, 2000. PS3 was okay, but I think personally that Xbox 360 was better than PS3. Yeah, and that's why I was surprised. I feel like a lot of people didn't like the PS3. But hey, I guess that's the numbers. I don't know. It could be too that like it was coming right off of the PS2, which was a really big hit. So maybe people just like automatically bought the PS3 assuming that it was going to be better or as good as the PS2, and then they complained about it. Could be that. The PlayStation 2 generation, including giant steps forward in their home console gaming with augmented reality, online multiplayer game, and more ambitious large-scale games on DVD disc. Yeah, that was another huge thing about the PSP2 or the PS2 is because you could watch movies on there. So, and you know, disc movies were really big back then. So that was a step up too. Live in your world, play in ours. That's cute. Revisit the PS2 era.
With PlayStation rapidly becoming one of the most popular gaming consoles, Sony Computer Entertainment aimed to create something even more powerful, PlayStation 2. Working with Toshiba, PlayStation 2 was powered by all new technology, including the breakthrough Emotion Engine CPU. PlayStation 2 included a DVD-ROM that played larger, more advanced games, as well as DVD movies.
I'm ready. Everyone's ready, right? Who has the PlayStation 2?
Man, I miss like the releases when you like stand outside. I know a lot of people don't like that kind of stuff, but I miss it. It was so nostalgic.
Sony PlayStation 2 will be the biggest thing to come along since TV was invented. The buzz on this product is that strong.
PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 2, newest, fastest video game system ever.
In 2000, PlayStation 2 arrived and was a massive
$299. Surprisingly, though, that's a little more expensive than I thought it would be. Well, yes and no. I guess in 2000, it has been a lot of inflation and stuff, but that's still pretty cheap.
Overnight success, with units going for as high as $1,000 on eBay. Stores quickly sold out, and the PlayStation 2 pushed its way to becoming the best-selling console of all time.
Sony's PlayStation 2 is here. It is hot.
It's quickly disappearing from stores in its first day on sale nationwide.
We're air freighting the units in just to make sure that we cut the lead time for the products to get into the market.
As PlayStation 2 continued to sell, Sony Computer Entertainment continued to support it with exciting technologies, including a network adapter, which allowed gamers to play certain games online, and the iToy, a camera that when connected to the PlayStation 2 offered an interactive new way for games to be played using motion.
I forgot that the PS2 had that. I'm surprised that that came out like that early of a stage. Like, that's really cool. For some reason, I was just thinking it was on PS3.
With a massive library of over 10,000 games and exclusives such as Eco, God of War, Gran Turismo, and more, PlayStation 2 would sell more than 150 million consoles worldwide.
Oh, those games are so nostalgic, but I have like almost all of these. It's amazing. Man, what a throwback. $160 million consoles sold since 2000. But they're not, I wonder how that number is like calculated, because I know they stopped making them for a while. So I'm wondering how it would still go up after they stopped making them. I could just be ignorant to the subject. I'll probably have to do some research and come back to you guys. But that's just something I'm curious about. The Grand PlayStation 2 reveal. The PlayStation 2 console was officially revealed at the Tokyo Game Show of September 1999 and was showcased with a number of demos, including Tekken Tag Tournament, Gran Turismo 2000, later renamed Gran Turismo 3 Aspect, and an action role-playing game called Eternal Ring from a certain From Software, the same studio that would later create Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and Elden Ring. A lot of people love From Software. I never was a huge fan of it. Like, I know of them, but a lot of people love that company. Changing the game, offering cutting-edge gaming, DVD playback, online functionality, and backward compatibility with the original PlayStation disc. The PS2 console represented an irresistible package at launch and throughout its lifetime. And so this is pretty much like just repeating what I said already. Console variations, they had, you know, the Slim, and that's the one I still have, is the Slim. And then they had like all these different colors. PlayStation's first steps online. Online gaming came to the PS2 console in 2001 with network adapter add-on, a wealth of sports titles, shooters, racers, RPGs, fighters, puzzles, and even dancing games enjoyed online support, with the last official PS2 server for Final Fantasy active until 2016. That's crazy. PS2 network adapter. When online play landed on PS2 in 2001, the console needed a helping hand in the shape of PS2 network adapter, which slotted neatly into the rear of the system. That sounds so funny, sorry. With an Ethernet port connected, it was time to play over the web. So I don't think, because I was pretty young when this came out, I don't think I ever played online for the PS2. But it's crazy to see that they were still open pretty much until like 2016. Like, that's crazy. Yeah, and then backwards compatibility. A new console generation meant that a new startup sequence, users switching on their PS2 console would be greeted by a series of blocks growing into towers. These were no random patterns and represented a number of games played and the times playing them. That's... I did not know that. If you guys are retro gamers, please let me know, because there aren't a lot of them anymore, and I feel so alone. Jak and Daxter, favorite game. One of my favorite games, I should say. Top 3. Top 3. If you are going to play any retro game, I highly recommend Jak and Daxter. Jak and Daxter, Sly Cooper, the original God of War series. Highly recommend. Ratchet and Clank's pretty good too, but they still make new versions of that, so it's just like, whatever. Sly Cooper, God of War, all things I said. I heard Shadow of Colossus, although I've never played it. I heard it's pretty good. And then obviously Resident Evil 4, they just had a remake of that. Your favorite is Crash Bandicoot? I didn't care for Crash Bandicoot. Like, I played it, and I know I could get some pushback for that. But, like, it was okay. Like, I think it was fun, but I think I just always got irritated playing it, so I was like, I never found it fun. And then this is just the PSP, which I just bought a modded one. I don't have it with me right now, but love the PSP. It'd be great if they went back to making something like this again, because that's what everybody wants, is another handheld console that you could play like PlayStation games on. Like, because I mean, we have the Switch right now, but it's like, to be honest, I don't always want to play Switch games. Like, sometimes I will, but sometimes I just want a good, like, PlayStation game that I can play on the go that doesn't need internet, because yeah, of course, like, we could use the PlayStation Portal, but you need internet for that. So, and then it lags a lot. Yeah, I love the PSP. I played a lot of Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories on that, which was really good. And then a bunch of like smaller games. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? It's so crazy that the PlayStation 2 is still one of the most selling consoles of all time. What, 24 years later? Like, that's crazy to me. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But yeah, this week I'm probably going to be doing a best games to buy for Christmas video, so stay tuned for that. I'm excited to show you guys all the games that have been good this year and stuff like that. But yeah, let me know what you guys would like to see in future videos, or anything that you guys would want to discuss on the live. And yeah, my PS Portal, I love it now that they added. Yeah, they did add that update, which made it better, where you can play without needing the PS5 console, which is pretty cool. So I will give them that. But I still, like, the internet thing is still just what's getting me. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And you'll see me Friday, but you'll see me live next Monday for an all-new live. So I hope you guys have a good day, and bye-bye. AK out.